Hi friends, welcome to yet another episode of TalentBlazer, where you get to learn about freshers job preparations, placements preparations and UGC net preparation. So today we're gonna discuss about the placement cracker product of TalentBlazer, where in interview you are normally asked for your strengths and weaknesses. Now, why does a recruiter ask this question to know about your strengths and weaknesses? We'll try to figure out in this episode. So they want to know the perception of yours about yourself, because they want to know how much do you know yourself. Knowing your strengths and weaknesses are very, very important things, because that would define how are you shaping up your career until now and how are you planning to shape up your career in the future, because strengths are something which will definitely be helping you in going ahead in the race, but the weaknesses are something which will be dragging you back in the race. So a good combination of strengths and weakness, and be aware of your strengths and weaknesses, will always be helpful for a professional to really go ahead in their career. Now, of course, the recruiter is judging you on the basis of the job roles for which they've come. Now, your strengths should definitely match with the job role according to the recruiter for them to really hire you. And if the weakness is coming anyhow in the job role, they might really get a little suspicious about your candidature for that job role. And the third, of course, they want to know where would they like to really give you the training to improve yourself on your weakness, and also your strengths are going to work as the cultural fit. Because for any organization, you're not really going to go out there and work individually, you're going to work in a team, you're working for an organization. So a cultural fit is something which is a very, very essential ingredient for any recruitment which happens through the organization. So how should you really understand the question, and how should you really align your answer which would be helping your cause of selection? So as we've discussed about this point, job role is the pivotal thing around which your interview is revolving. So you must be aware of the job role, you must be aware of the job description, and try to really correlate your strengths with the job role. Like, if you are appearing for a software developer's role, and if you let them know that yes, you're good with the languages, technical languages, you're good with coding, you're good with your testing skills, so they might be inclined at you picking you up because the job role requires that. Or for accountant's position, if you really go out there and say that yes, you're good at accountancy, the chances that they would really pick you up increases. If you say your strength is fast calculation, mathematical calculations, doing software, mathematical models, these are a few of the things which will definitely help your selections for an accountant's position. If you're going for a sales job, you need to really say that yes, you have got a good negotiation skills, you've got a good persuasion skills, because those are the skills which are be helpful in that particular job role. So weaknesses should never be aligned with a job role whatsoever. As I said, all the three examples which I gave, if you say that your weakness is coding and you're appearing for software developer's role, 99% chances is that you would not really be bagging that role. Same goes with the accountancy example as well. If someone has come to really hire for a accounts position and you go out there and say that you're not good with the accountancy, there are no chances that you will be picked up. Or for the sales job, if you really go and say that you're not good with your persuasion skills or negotiation skills, chances of you being picked up for that job really goes down. And of course, very important point, whatever strength you're saying, you'll have to correlate it with your 5 years goal plan. What exactly are you eyeing in the next 5 years, and how are your strengths gonna be, helping you in achieving that goals? So we'll quickly try to understand what all things have we really studied and what all strengths and weaknesses are there, which one needs to really work upon while they are really working for their interviews. Strengths and weaknesses, of course. As we've said, the strengths should be aligned with your job role. Weaknesses should never be aligned with your job roles. The weakness could be anything. Probably, if you're appearing for software developer's role, you might say that your communication skills is not that good, which you can improve upon. And you having very good communication skills might not really be a big trouble for a software developer. But if you're really appearing for sales job, you cannot say that your communication skills is not good, because you'll have to really be having a good communication skills to really get selected for a sales professional's job. So you have to be meticulous while you are talking about your strengths and weaknesses. Of course, strengths can be behavioral and non-behavioral. Like if you're someone who goes well along with the group, you don't have any behavioral problem with them. So of course, that would be a strength. Strength can be your coding skills or your communication skills or your negotiation skills. All these things can definitely be your strengths. Weaknesses should never be behavioral, because behavioral changes are very hard to be brought in. So never talk about your weaknesses from your behavior facets. Like, you cannot really go and say that you are very impulsive. You cannot really say that you cannot really tolerate people making mistakes in front of you. You're very strict about your disciplines. I mean, being disciplined is good, but too much of a discipline is also not good for an organization. So you need to really be having low, you cannot really go and say that you're very impulsive, you are short-tempered. These are some behavioral skills, behavioral points which you cannot really go ahead and talk about for the recruiters. Because why? We'll try to know about it. As we've discussed, your strengths should definitely be aligned with your 5 years goal plan. So what exactly are you really planning in the next 5 years, and where do you stand with your strengths on them? Weaknesses, as we discussed above, it should not be behavioral, because behavioral weaknesses takes too long to get rectified. So you can talk about the weaknesses which can really be rectified very shortly. Like if you are a little on a, if you do not really have a good communication skills, you can talk about it. You can talk about you do not really have a very good coding skills, which you can really work upon. So any skills, if you really relate rather than talking about the behaviors, is definitely going to be helpful for cracking a job. Now, how should you really practice about your interviews? We've talked about this earlier as well. You can download our app where you can get all trainings on interviews for free. You will get enough psychometric tests for free. You will get aptitude tests for free, where you can give IQ tests, aptitude tests, GK tests, verbal, non-verbal. Also, there are some grammar tests, spoken English tests. So there are a lot of tests for free. You can go out there, download our app from Google Play and start working on our app. You are definitely going to enjoy it. So this is TalentBlazer. We have been to good colleges of our country. We are there on all the major platforms. That's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, website, anywhere. If you want to reach out to us, you can reach out to us on any platform. We'd love to really interact with you on any of these platforms. Thank you for listening me out. Thank you for your time, and best of luck for your interviews.